not die, so they fight a battle for you.
That's too funny. Melcuria, thank you so much for the call. We've got a couple other people in line here that we got to move on to.
She wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to sing a little song for you, but
sing it.
Okay, sing it.
Go on.
okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aniro. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I'm done.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melcuria. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Thank you all who have called in today. It's been very nice of you. So let's get a couple more of these callers here out of the way.
2 more or so?
Yeah, let's do 2 more, and while you're getting the next person in here, why don't we read this next email from Torquil Rather Dashing? And how about Nika? How about we have you read that one? Can your voice handle it?
Probably. I'm making sure I'm looking at the right one from Torco.
Yes,
Yep.
Torquil.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do this one.
Okay.
All right. It says there are 2 components to success in an encounter, gear and skill. We have the eye level for gear. I would love to see a kind of quote-unquote adventuring license system to prove your skill in the same way. In my fully realized system, you would have ranked licenses for every X or harder encounter for every role. Per job would be cool too, but I think per role probably suffices.
Interesting idea. I like that.
Much of the crew expresses concern that this would leave the more casual people out. I say if properly balanced, a huge and challenging caveat I'll grant you, then you'd lack the skill to earn the license, then you were objectively going to cause your party to lose the encounter anyway.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I think it could actually make it easier to get clears. I'm one of those players who find it easy to learn the encounter. It's finding a decent clear party or getting a farm group to let me in that's the real challenge.
Yeah.
If I can throw a license at a farm party to prove, hey, look, I do know this encounter, then they may be more willing to let me have a shot. P.S. Can we have a radio melodrama based on Nika's experience in FF11? Based on her rant, it sounds torrid and fascinating. From Torquil Rather Dashing from Valmung. P.P.S. Hi, Nika.
I love the idea of the license system. It's the next step from what we were talking about last week with having basically an achievement you could link.
Yes.
If they, for every major fight that came out, had a license you had to earn, maybe even if it's like a miniaturized version of the mechanic that you have to face in the fight or something like that, to give you an idea of what to expect, a license you have to earn before you can do it that says, I can handle this fight. I love that idea.
But
and if you can't earn that license, then you're going to be a hindrance.
Like, seeing the next phase will give you another license that says, I've been past Meteors. I've been past first Knights of the Round. I've been past the second Knights of the Round. Like, what license? Like, I just feel like that would be way too much development time they could be spending in other areas.
It does go kind of along with our discussion last week that there needs to be some kind of objective measurement of a player's context, and not just because all too often people lie, or not that they lie or that they seek to deceive, but that out of either ignorance or fear they end up misrepresenting their skills. Or
but the thing is, I don't even think that that's the problem. Like it sounds good in theory, but I've done like X Primal parties where it's been proven that literally every single person has multiple hive weapons for Ravana, and we still wipe just because we're not used to each other's strategies. Like, having the license and proving you can clear the content is not what's going to clear the content. I think that's not the problem.
That's true. But I think that it would decrease the amount of people who get frustrated after 2 wipes and then just go, oh, fuck this, and bail. Like if they're like, look, everyone has the ability to be able to get through this if I have the patience. I think that all around it would create a much more conducive environment for player for player teamwork, because that the people that you're working with are at some... the person's not just brain dead. Yeah,
sitting
exactly.
there. Okay, they were able to clear the license objective. They have what it takes to do this.
It's like that black mage that you keep bringing up, Nika, that would, despite all of your best efforts, would not listen to your criticisms about their rotation. They would say either yeah, and then they wouldn't do it, or they flat out ignore you. Now, if you're going through a party finder, okay, and you're trying to do raid content through party finder and you encountered that exact same personality type, that is devastating, not just to your party and not just to progression for that night, but to overall enthusiasm and wanting to clear the content overall, okay? Not clearly not everyone's playtime is structured so that they can form a static. And there are some people who would much rather try to do pickup groups for this kind of stuff. And that, I think, is totally valid. Why not give them the tools to be able to organize tighter groups in the moment? I think that's what you get. It doesn't at all affect the statics because statics work together on a different level, right? This is a way for matchmaking to work a little bit better.
Maybe, but I feel like what determines like when and where you get those licenses? I just feel like, do they have like checkpoint? Like they're gonna have to every time they release a new raid. Sorry. Every time they release a new raid, they're gonna have to determine like where in the raid is a checkpoint, which means like I've made it to this checkpoint, I get a license.
If
for
they
it.
want
I just feel like that's way too much depth.
If they want to do that, if they wanted to go to those lengths, I don't know that you have to. I don't know that that's necessary.
But I mean, they said throwing a license to show that I've learned these mechanics I just may not have cleared yet. But I mean, what? So that means
I think
once you
I
get to
said
1% and wipe. No, that's what the person said in the email.
Did he?
That they're easy. They're good at learning mechanics, but it's hard to get a party in the first place. So they want something to prove to that party that they can do it. So I feel like you wipe at 1% and you get a license that says I've been to 1%.
But no. It's not just that. It's as much for the people who are trying to organize those parties as it is for the individual. Okay, like I think that when you're organizing a party, you have some discretion. But if you have no way of knowing within 5-10 minutes of talking to one person whether or not they're going to be a donkey. And one donkey can kill the entire run. And if the guy who's putting the thing together loses the momentum, then those 7 other people are going to go as well. It seems like this could be a tool to help people who want to ensure that their participants in a pickup group are up to par, and I think that's fair. I think giving a tool set to be able to measure something like that is appropriate.
In theory, that's fair, but I just feel like why would the devs take the time out to determine what gives a player a license and what doesn't? I just feel like that's a waste of their time.
No, I don't know. I mean, the person,
no more so than Verminion.
Torque will.
Okay, that's fair.
Torque will had said that he had fleshed out that whole system. I can't speak to it. He didn't flesh it out in the email. But yeah, I mean, while that's a valid concern, I do think that there needs to be a toolkit to allow players to measure each other's skill. And if they're not going to put in a DPS, like a parser, a raw parser, then an achievement system like that is just as good.
Yeah, I can't speak to what specifically it needs to be. I like the concept in theory.
Yeah, I agree.